closely related to seahorses but have a long, sleek striped body with a round paddle-like tail. Both the seahorse and the pipefish share an amazing reproductive method, wherein the female deposits her eggs in the brooding pouch of a male, which is like the pouch of a kangaroo. It is then the male who carries the eggs until they hatch. Ghost pipefish are extremely rare and exceptionally well camouflaged creatures. Their small size and bizarre form makes them hard to find. Being able to take a good picture of them makes any underwater photographer's heart beat faster. Although slow swimmers, they can be found in areas with strong currents. They hover in the vicinity of feather stars, sea fans, corals, or seagrass, with their heads down and facing the current. This allows them to nourish themselves from plankton drifting by. Often you will see two of them together. It is not yet known whether they are officially married or not. Slow but maneuverable with tiny pectoral fins, pufferfish are usually found hiding on the bottom during the day and are active at dawn and dusk. Unfortunately, many divers think it is great fun to pull on the tail of this animal because it then reacts by sucking its stomach so full of water that it can more than double its body size. This puffing up would stress out a pufferfish and could even cause it to die, so please don't do this. When puffed up, any potential predator would find it hard to swallow. Some unlucky sharks have even suffocated because a pufferfish inflated itself in the shark's mouth. There is such a big difference between juvenile and adult sweetlips that for a long time marine biologists thought that they were two different species of fish. Juvenile sweetlips are often seen in the shallow areas of a coral reef. They have bright spots with disproportionately large fins, and they swim around like Spanish flamenco dancers. Adult sweetlips school together during the day for protection and are a common sight on reef crests. Due to their distinctive stripes and coloring, sweetlips are a favorite photo subject. They are night-active hunters who eat mostly bottom-dwelling invertebrates. Anemone fish are a well-loved and familiar photo subject. There are 27 species, and each can only exist in a symbiosis with a certain kind of anemone. The anemone offers the anemone fish a safe home within its stinging tentacles, but the fish, on the other hand, will also vigorously defend the anemone from its potential attackers. Do not be surprised if a little fellow will venture up to you and nip your fingers. They usually patrol only up to 2 meters away from the anemone. Unlike most human households, the biggest fish in each community is always a female and is the boss. All other fish are males. Should the female die, the largest male will turn into a female and then become the new boss. This magnificent animal is related to the scorpionfish. The flamboyantly decorated spines are also poisonous. Unlike the scorpionfish, however, the lionfish will attack frontally by spreading its dorsal fin and using this as a weapon if it feels cornered. Divers often cannot imagine that these beautiful and graceful creatures are capable of such a violent high-speed defensive reaction. By always maintaining a respectful distance, however, you will never encounter this extreme response. A lot of divers usually only become aware of scorpionfish when they are about to hold on to something and it suddenly moves. These masters of disguise have several poisonous spines which are located on their dorsal, belly, and anal fins. Scorpionfish are one of the reasons to always be careful about what you touch underwater. It only takes them seconds to change their color and appear to turn into a stone. When threatened, they raise their spines to protect themselves. Scorpionfish lie on the bottom motionless, waiting for their prey to swim right in front of their mouths. The unsuspecting fish suddenly find themselves sucked into a hungry stomach from which there is only one way out. All of the over 50 species of sea snakes have evolved from Australian land snakes. These air-breathing reptiles have lungs that go all the way to their tail enabling them to stay underwater for at least half an hour and to dive down to depths of 200 meters. Even though they are the most venomous snakes on our planet, they are normally not aggressive towards humans, and there is no recorded instance of a diver fatality from a sea snake bite. In rare cases, a curious sea snake might become interested in its own reflection in a diver's mask and come uncomfortably close. In this case, one should never lash out or make hasty movements, but instead calmly turn away. Morays have an undeserved reputation for being aggressive. This is due to them constantly opening and closing their mouths, which are full of sharp teeth. All they are actually doing is sucking water through the mouth into the gills to breathe. They are not dangerous. Morays are found mostly hidden in holes. They have bad eyesight, but have an excellent sense of smell, which they use when they go out to hunt at night. These creatures are not known to attack humans except in places where they are fed by divers. Sometimes they might confuse a diver's hand with food and unintentionally bite it. The largest species can get up to 4 meters long. Made up of 95% water and just 5% organic materials, jellyfish belong to some of the most versatile and least understood species of animals on the planet. We call anything soft, transparent, tentacled, and with no skeletal structure jellyfish. There are thousands of jellyfish species, some very small to ones with 50-meter long tentacles. Most species of jellyfish are actually harmless to humans. There are, however, kinds that possess cells that sting painfully. From afar, it is hard to know whether a jellyfish is of the stinging kind or not, so it is a good idea just to stay as far as possible from them. You can use vinegar to wash off the stinging cells and prevent painful blistering. These are the infamous starfish that can eat up a healthy coral reef and leave fields of dead coral behind. It is not known exactly what causes the crown of thorns plague. A popular theory says that overcollection of the triton's shell, which is its only natural enemy, is the cause. Their 11 to 20 arms as well as their body are covered with long poisonous spines, which can inflict painful wounds. Underwater, crown of thorns are extremely hard to kill. Like some monster from a horror film, any cut-off body parts will grow into a whole new starfish. The best option to clear an affected reef is to remove them from the water. There are 37 species of triggerfish, but the Titan trigger is one of the largest. It is generally a peaceful animal, but while it is guarding its eggs, it will not allow any creature to approach the nest. Every year for a couple of weeks, Titan triggerfish dig out a nest in the sand and guard it fanatically. Should you ever see a Titan trigger hovering above a round hole in the sand, with head down and watching its surroundings with rolling eyes, do not approach. Divers ignoring these threatening signs will experience a warning attack. To retreat safely, the diver should move away from the nest. Otherwise, the fish will attack relentlessly with savage bites until the diver is driven away. White-tip reef sharks are the most common sharks to be seen in the Philippines. They patrol their section of a reef at depths of between 100 meters all the way up to the surface. Seen from above, they have a very typical sinuous or snake-like way of swimming. White-tips are often encountered resting on sandy slopes or inside of small caves. This will give you the opportunity to look right into their cat-like eyes and count the number of gill slits. 5. In spite